Hey guys, Lucky here. We always help organize the first declone walks of every season. And generally, what happens is we end up killing a lot of declones for everyone. And while that's all fun and good, I decided to make a few videos on how you can kill declone yourself with a few budget builds and different specs for every single class in the game. Because I'm not always online, and this way you can do it yourself. Today's video will be going over the Sorceress fire, cold, and lightning specs on a budget. We're starting with our budget gear, 2 spirits, a lore, Nokozan, smoke, Older's boots, and just any res you can find. On swap, we have a lower res wand. Lower res wand can easily be purchased from Drogden in Act 2. Just make sure you get a layout like this and you can go back and forth, reset the shop really quick until you find a lower res wand. Likewise, for these builds, we'll be utilizing Prevent Monster Heal, and Prevent Monster Heal can be bought right from Charcy. I did a sample and I found 2 Prevent Monster Heal weapons just like that. So we're going to use Prevent Monster Heal on Javelins today and lower res on a wand. In addition to that gear, we have our Demon Limb, which we'll use to enchant ourselves and our Mercenary. And our Mercenary is using 2 strengths, G-Face, and Duress. Now we're starting with the fire build, which we're going to put enough strength in for dexterity and the rest in vitality. And then we've got Meteor as our main damage dealer with points into the synergies as well as a point into teleport and static. Now we're going to go and sell our Stone of Jordan and spawn declone. We're just spawning them on single player. To spawn in multiplayer, we'll be doing this as a community, so follow along in the stream to get all the updates on that. Here we're going to enchant ourselves and our mercenary. This boosts our attack rating a little bit, giving us a better chance to hit. So we're going to go in immediately upon entry for the fire build. We're going to lower res and then static. Static is one of the strongest moves, if not the strongest in the game. We're immediately going to take Diablo clone down to below 50%, at which point static stops working, and we'll let our mercenary tank and deal damage with meteor ourselves. So the mercenary is acting as a tank and providing crushing blow, dealing great amounts of damage. We're using meteor, and we didn't need to use prevent monster heal because damage over time from meteor will prevent any regen from declone. For the cold spec, we've maxed Blizzard and Cold Mastery, as well as a lot of the synergies, a point into static again, and teleport. We're using all the same gear, so you're just going to use the same strength for gear, the rest in vitality. And let's go ahead and spawn declone and see how the cold sorceress Blizzard spec will do. So we're going to start by enchanting again, and here we're going to apply Prevent Monster Heal. Since we don't have the damage over time of Meteor, we're going to go in and we're going to immediately try to get a hit in with our Javelins that are going to provide Prevent Monster Heal. So we've got a nice boost of attack rating with Enchant, so we should have a better chance to hit, but let's see. We're going to go in, we're going to attack with our Javelins and then switch back to lower res, get some statics in to get his health really low, and then just let Blizzard and Ice Blast do the rest. So here our mercenary dies, but that's okay. Our damage is actually really good right now with the lower res on, so we're just gonna finish him off. It looked like actually we didn't even get prevent monster heal, so he's been regenning this whole time. But just look how much damage we do. Even with just budget spirits, we're able to do enough damage to take him down that last bit, even though he's regenning. If we had applied the prevent monster heal, he would be dead by now, but even without it, you can see he dies pretty quickly, and we still managed to get our Annie, even with a dead mercenary. Sorry, Bill. May you rest in peace. For the last spec, we have Lightning. So the Lightning Sorc is probably my least favorite. I think Fire's the clear favorite here. I'm a big fan of the Fire Sorc. But for Lightning, you saw we had Lightning maxed and Charge Bolt, as well as Lightning Mastery. Here we're going to spawn our declone. Again, we're going to enchant ourselves and our mercenary and try to apply
the prevent monster heal from the javelins. Let's go in. Now here we're gonna wail on them a little bit. We want to make sure that these javelins hit. I think lightning for budget is the least amount of damage, especially for bosses and single targets. So we really want to prevent monster heal. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a ton of javelins to make sure that that applies. Meanwhile, the mercenary's taking him down with crushing blow, thanks to that those strengths that he's using and the G face. And now we're just gonna try to get as close as possible because these charge bolts will shotgun, and you see the closer we are to declone, actually it ends up being pretty safe because his laser, if you are right on top of him, cannot hit you. That's right, when you saw him using the laser on us and the mercenary, if you are right on top of declone, that laser will do nothing to you. So the closer we are, the better, and so this is pretty conducive to the charge bolt. You'll see we're also attracting some aggro from the mercenary, so the mercenary stays alive decently well, and then we're able to take him down with a couple more charge bolts. If your lower res falls off, just try to reapply it if you get a chance. You can see the lower res fell off and we just reapplied it there, and then your declone goes down. So lightning, I would say, did take the longest out of all of the different specs: fire, cold, and light. But this is just to show that any spec can do it on a budget. Subscribe to the channel so that you can get updates on all the other classes as those videos become available. And if all of this was too much and you still don't want to go through the trouble of killing declone, join the Discord. You'll see that we have a channel set up dedicated to helping with declone. Whenever a declone spawns, all you got to do is come here, hit this request button, and one of our trusted killers will take care of them for you. In addition to declone help, we have terror zone alerts. So you just click which terror zone you want, and you'll get an alert for it every time that terror zone spawns in the game. You don't have to be in the game yourself, and you'll never miss another Chaos Sanctuary terror zone going forward. So hope that this was a help for you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.